Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. And we have audio, so that is good. Streams work much better when audio happens, I find. Alrighty, the Ramsey Show seemed to be over 2 minutes early or something like that today. I'll have to take a look at that and see if I'm correct on the 11:07 ending of it. So I may have to up that by a few minutes. But regardless, we're here now. So, whoops. Okay, gotta click the right button. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And for my financial content, just go past the Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch playlist, and you'll see the Aftershow show playlist. And today is number, 559. And there are 144 of answering your financial questions. That is an 8 p.m. at night stream. And I generally do that one every weekday that I cannot do a morning show, an after show. And so I do have that coming up. I believe after shows will be this Wednesday and Friday, and Tuesday and Thursday will be answering your financial questions. I believe that's what it is. I'll be giving that at the end there. The music playlist has 12 Ramsey adjacent songs, and let's do an example that I haven't done in a while. I guess George was on Friday's live show, and so the YouTube broadcast this morning, George Camel was on with King Coleman, and so there is a George Camel song, and that goes, what is it? Ayo war, Asos and Deloney wears camel. Flannel. He doesn't wear a camel. Deloney wears flannel. Nope, but nobody does it like... I can't remember the words right now. Anyway, it's to The Bad Touch, and it's by George Camel, because it rhymes. It rhymes with the, mammals word in that original song. And so, obviously, remembering lyrics and singing, not my regular job. And so, take that for what you will, but you might enjoy them. Pardon me. Market report. I think there's been a few down days. Not quite sure. Let's check that out, because I have not been paying that much attention. Looked like a little bit of volatility there. On the, let's see, so what was that, the 11th, and then the 12th, and the 13th. Okay, and so that was Friday, the 13th. Market got slashed a little bit. And then down even more. At the end of the day, near the end of the day. But now it's back up. So good. Good to see green up here. See what the rest of the planet is doing. Everything up in Europe, everything up in Asia. How about that? Everything up everywhere, and that's good for everybody. Euro up against the US dollar, Japanese yen up against the US dollar, the British pound, love, up against the US dollar, Canadian dollar on top of the US dollar, sorry, and the Australian dollar making a clean sweep for the rest of the world against the US dollar. And I often find that on a good market day, good stock market day, the dollar is going to be down almost always. So every once in a while, though, it's a good market day, and the dollar is up as well against most other countries. So it doesn't always. No earnings in the next 14 days. All right, so we don't have any. Maybe we'll have some inflation index or so. We'll have some other numbers come in from the government that affect something, and then the next month they'll revise those numbers because they put them out too early before they were sure that that's what the answer was. And so that's how that works. And so, of course, everybody always overreacts to any little bit of news. But as you can see, Meta up the most today, even over the Tesla, which is generally going to be the highest mover, up or down. Let's take a look at headlines. Trump organization now mobile plan, $4.99 smartphone. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll let you know when I buy a smartphone that's over $200. It's just not necessary to spend more than that. Dow futures rebound. Oil falls amid Israel-Iran news. The next AI winners after NVIDIA and Broadcom. I don't know, and not speculating on it either. Popular home goods chain files for bankruptcy at home. Okay, amid tariff trouble. Hey, got a great idea. Don't base your entire business on things you buy from China. When a tariff enacted thing would affect you, and of course, a lot of people that sell on the eBay or the Temu or whatever, they're not making as much money now because of that as well. Tough crap. Sorry. Change your business model. WhatsApp introduces ads in its app. Okay, I haven't used that app in probably a year. Probably it's coming up on a year now. Last time I used it, so I don't know about the ads happening. American Express announces major updates coming to U.S. consumer and business platinum cards later this year. I looked at is this an ad and not a news story? I skimmed the article. I didn't see what it was doing. There's a lot of posturing language and stuff like that, but I didn't see any new features or anything like that that were amazing or even new at all. Behind the curtain, what a prediction of humanity destroying AI. All right. Come with me if you want to live. Fox Business, recent graduates facing deteriorated labor market as unemployment reaches highest level in years. So, got a great idea. Don't take out student loans. Vice Media hires former NBC Universal executive for studio focus turnaround. Okay, well, I guess if you like what he did at NBC Universal, and was he fired from there, would be the question. Oh, and I do have this one, this story here from Live Science. This electric vehicle battery fully recharges in just 18 seconds. That's pretty cool. But they can't get a phone battery to do that too? They can get a car battery to do that, but they can't get a phone battery to do that. And it just got the green light for mass production. Okay. All right. And it'll do that without catching on fire as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Super fast charging for super fast electronic vehicles. I guess I should say EVs. Are the kids saying EVs? I don't know. Alrighty, let's take a look at the questions. We are on reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And that's where we get questions most of the time, occasionally from the Ramsey Baby Steps community. That always like the Ohio State University. Always a good time for a water break. A little agua. When you just from Lyosini, when you say I'm paying cash, and I think I did this one actually, and the dealer looks at you like you just confessed to being Batman. Yeah, they like you to do that. And also, supposedly now more and more dealerships are just saying, oh, well, that changes the price then. So tough crap. But you know what you can do? You can do the spin move and walk out of there. If they don't have a price you like, if they raise that price. And you can get your car from another dealership if they don't like it. Jolly Gap 1345, rebalancing my Roth IRA, baby step 4 flare. So as I said yesterday in the preview for this question, my friend Sid called the Ramsey show, and I believe Mr. Ramsey told her that you got to rebalance your portfolio. Maybe you do it 3 times in your lifetime, something like that. So you wouldn't constantly every year, for example, your large cap probably based on the NASDAQ, which has been kicking the S&P 500's ass over the past 20 years, like 117 out of 20. So it's going to be your large cap fund is probably going to be the most. So you'll have the most money in there. But as far as you don't every year have to make them match at 25%. You still put in your contributions, still stay at 25% each. But you can pretty much leave it like it is. And like Dave said, maybe you do it 3 times in your lifetime. But generally, why would you want to take out gains out of your large cap fund and put it into something that's not making as much? So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. So I probably wouldn't be in a rush to do that. The idea is that you're contributing equally, and then the gains, let the gains do what the gains do. But Mr. Ramsey may have more to say on that. I don't recall like anything else specific that he said during that call. But he did say it's not something you like have to do every year, maybe 3 times during your lifetime. Hi guys, I'm 27 man. I've been maxing out my Roth IRA for the past 3 years. I'm using Robinhood, and I love Robinhood. I want to keep using Robinhood. Is this a promo? Is this an ad for Robinhood? It's a fad. It's a new, why? So if you're going to have a lot of money with any company, definitely use somebody that hasn't been around that long, as say Fidelity or Schwab or any of the other brokerage that you know. But anyway, let's see. I want to rebalance my portfolio to follow Dave Ramsey's recommendation. Oh, okay. So that's what it is. All right, my bad. I was thinking it was just to balance it out, but no, it's to change it to the Ramsey recommendation. And that, of course, is the 25% each into small, mid, large cap, and international. What do you think of the ETF portfolio? And please let me know your suggestions. Growth and income, large cap, U.S. stock ETF. Okay, so the index funds that you're doing don't make as much as managed funds. You can find managed funds that make more. So I won't continue to beat that dead horse. People are dumb. If you cannot find a managed fund in the same category of your stupid index fund that makes less money, then you're not spending enough time looking. So stupid. People do it because it's easy. And, because it's, I've been told some friend of mine does it because it's idiot proof. And sure, and it's better than 100% better than doing nothing. But why would you leave money on the table by not spending an hour and find 4 good managed funds instead that beat these freaking indexes. Why would you not do that? Seems pretty dumb to me. And so I also love the SCHD, but I don't know how to incorporate that along Dave Ramsey's recommended. I don't even know what that is. Is that another one? Let's see. SCHD. Do not know what that is. Schwab U.S. dividend equity, no equities. No equities, no bonds, no commodities, just managed mutual funds for retirement is what Dave recommends. So you're doing it wrong, and you're asking, how do I change to follow Dave Ramsey's recommendation, but also keeping the dumb crap that I'm doing right now? You can't. So you can either continue to do it wrong, and again, better than not doing any investing at all, 100% for sure, but you are leaving money on the table. Alrighty. Hey, there's the baby steps right there, and they are in numerical order for your convenience, as always. That entrance 7672 Jade's work from home website, Winsite. She referenced a work from home site that she'd use so you could log in and work whenever you had free time. I can't remember the name of it. Thought it was Aspire or Inspire, but that is not it. Does anyone know? I jump around in the episode, so I have no idea what episode she spoke about this. Thanks. I don't know either, but there's several that you can do that kind of stuff in. And I don't know the names of any of them right off the top of my head. Shoot if cute, all right. High yield savings account or SGov. Hello, guys. Hi, guys. I live in Florida. I hear the rainstorms ain't nothing to mess with. Can't feel a drip on the strip. And wanted to put my savings in a high yield savings account. I heard about, and we don't need to be hearing about stuff probably. I heard about SGov recently, and I'm hesitant as to which way I should follow. Should I do a high yield savings account or SGov? Thanks. Okay, so SGov, do I still have it on there? I don't. So SGov, so if you just Google it, it comes up with a 0 to 3 month, and why would you get a 0 month treasury bond? Doesn't that seem dumb? Doesn't it seem like it should say 1 to 3 months, unless they're letting you do 2 weeks treasury bond, which they may. I don't know. I don't do bonds. Bonds are not recommended, so you would not be doing that. But also, SGov is a company that does these as well. So in addition to it being the name of an actual 0 to 3 month treasury bond, it also is a company that deals in these, but also they're just like any other brokerage apparently, because you can buy, let's see, where did I see that? ETF. How safe is SGov? Offers a safe, low risk alternative cash with a yield. Now that just talks about that. Where did I see? SGov have better returns and tax advantage than a high yield savings account, but the problem is if it needs to be immediately accessible. And so I don't know if it is in a bond. I'm wondering why that's not coming up now. But interesting. Maybe I made it up. Maybe I was that tired. But I could have sworn I saw that SGov was also the name of a company. Let's try. Oh. You know what you got to do? You got to spell it correctly. I didn't type it. SGov. There we go. So now let's see. There we go. And it tells you what it has made. Hey, let's see what it has made in the past month. Down. Has 6 months. 0.02%. The year. Okay. No, 0.19% for the year to date. 0. Past 5 years, 0.5%. That is not higher than the market. Or no, a high yield savings account would be 4 or 5%. So this is not 4 or 5%. So this is a no. But let's see what else do we have here. SGov holds only short-term U.S. Treasury bills. Not a money market fund. I could have sworn I saw something, and maybe it was possibly just one guy on the Reddit talking about it. Do I have the? Nope, none of these are purple, so I didn't click on these. But I could have sworn that it was a company too where he had like index funds in that portfolio as well. Okay, so I might have made that stuff up, and this is all it is. And so, but Mr. Ramsey, that's a NAR on bonds. Doesn't do bonds. Because it doesn't make as much as the market, for one, and it also apparently doesn't make as much as a high yield savings account, even though what we read earlier said it does. This one does not. So I would learn more about it. As also, Mr. Ramsey says you should not invest in anything that you don't understand. So you should understand both. And again, it was very easy to call it up and click on the 3-month return and the 1-year return and the 5-year return. So you should do that kind of stuff. And probably, guess what? Do that before even asking in Reddit. And then if you do that, you don't have to ask in Reddit. But I appreciate it being in the Reddit, because then that gives content for me. Dan Hughes, 88, $60,000 in student loans, $25,000 in savings. Should I throw it all at the debt? Yeah. Well, no, not all of it. $24,000 you should. You keep the $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. $60K in student loans, mix of Fed and Prive. I'm making around $52K a year. No other debt. And I've saved up $25K, living cheap the last couple of years. Great. You're doing it wrong, though. Just not sure what to do next. Should I throw a big chunk? Not a big chunk. You throw all of it except for the $1,000 starter emergency fund. It is right here on the baby steps. Maybe you have heard of them if you're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. It says $1,000. It doesn't say, and, over 2 years, save up another $24,000 instead of paying off your debt. It does not say that right there. People are nutty. Or chill and keep stacking savings. The Ramsey advice is not to chill and keep stacking savings unless you are in an emergency situation or there's a pregnancy, and then on both of those occasions you would pause the baby steps and just pile up cash. In your situation, just wanting to do it, that's a no. Kind of stressing feels like for me, no matter what I do, it's going to take forever to kill this debt. It's going to take longer if you keep saving money instead of putting it towards the debt. Right, genius? I keep hearing mixed advice. Pay the private ones first. Invest instead. Wait for forgiveness. Okay, you're not hearing any of that from Mr. Ramsey or on the Ramsey Show or on the Ramsey Solutions website. Maybe spend more time there instead of looking at the Reddit, where anybody, including people that are wrong, including people that are unbalanced and unhinged, whatever, typing stuff in here or talking about it on YouTube even. And wait for forgiveness. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, see, that's why it's so dumb. Why are you being dumb, okay? You are on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. He has 30 years of financial advice experience. He has millions of documented success stories in following these freaking baby steps. So I would tend to take that over some guy on Reddit. Or even YouTube. Of course, Dave Ramsey's on YouTube, but that's different because he has the cred, and I have cred from his company. So, because I am Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. Where were we? Just wondering what's worked for others. You know what worked for me? You will not believe this crap. You know what worked for me? The freaking baby steps and not having extra savings other than the $1,000 starter emergency fund while I have step 2 debt. That's what has worked for me. These loans for student ain't no joke. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have taken them out. That's why Mr. Ramsey advised you to not take them out. Appreciate any advice for reals. Update, I went through this comparison chart of all the main student loan lenders to figure out what's realistic for. Okay, you're thinking about it too much. You're looking into the wrong kind of crap instead of looking for the Ramsey advice, which you should be doing. So you're doing it wrong. I feel like, for me, probably going to keep doing dumb stuff. But that's the way it goes. This is an ad. For what? CheapOnlineInsurance.com. Yeah, okay. Practical Net. 861, in serious debt. Not funny, not lighthearted debt, but serious debt. I'm 29 and renting with a roommate. My share of the rent is $1,100. That seems excessive. You could be living by yourself for $1,100. In the Midwest, anyway. I don't know where you live. If you're living on the coasts, then it might be time to move away from there. I'm in about $15,000 credit card debt with personal loan debt, car loan, and student loans. I'm trying to get all the loans involved. I'm currently way behind in my credit card payments. I recognize that I have an impulsive spending problem, you think, and working on it. I've drastically reduced my spending, but it doesn't help. I make a little less than $60K at my job. I've been trying to get a second job, but the hours from my first job make me an undesirable candidate to anywhere I was applying. Can you give me advice? I'm so sick to my stomach over my situation. I do realize that I did this to myself and I need to fix, but I need some help. Yeah, you need to not spend one penny of money that is not something that is 100% necessary. And you do need to do something. You can do something online and make a little bit of money when you're not working. So you don't have to go apply somewhere and get some job. You can do stuff at home as well. Do whatever you have to do. If you know how to mow lawns, you can do that. Anything you know how to do or anything you're willing to do. You do that, and then that brings in more money, and that lets you pay this off, and you were dumb as crap, so stop being dumb as crap. And if you can't control the spending, then you need professional help. Unfortunately, that's not free either. Maybe see what resources your church or city have as far as free therapy, free counseling. Quit THC to pay off debt. Yeah, THC is not 100% necessary to live, is it? So that could come out of the budget. Good job. I mean, not the money for it come out of the budget, but you delete THC from the budget, and then you have that money to spend to put to debt. Very proud of myself on this one, guys. I'm on baby step 2, and I recently vowed that I was going to do it right this time. Well, great. Recently quit smoking THC, cold turkey to pay off the debt. Great. When I quit, I went through withdrawals hard. Yeah, that happens. Which is a good reason to not start it in the first place. Vivid nightmares, couldn't sleep, grumpy, always tired, and couldn't eat. I stuck to it anyways. It wasn't until, I don't know where the S comes from. It wasn't until I stopped that I realized how much I was letting myself go and lying to myself. Yep. People do that. I was spending between $600 and $750 a month on THC. Oh. I let it steal that much money from my family because I had no self-control. Well, no more. That money is back in my budget. I'm doing better than ever. Restarting college in August, and I'm so proud to be getting my life back. No student loan is... What up, Sid? Having no vices is weird. Can't relate. Yeah, I hear you. Oh. So proud to be getting my life back together. Okay? Was the rest of it. So yeah, hopefully no student loans on that because you don't pay off your debt just to take out more. That's dumb as crap as well. Why isn't that X not working? There it goes. I made the computer work. Grade Oz 10. Baby steps going from single to married. Yeah, married. And that's from 16 Candles. Highly recommend. John Hughes. I have a question for the Ramsey community. I'm 26 man, getting married in December of this year. To my fiance, 27 young lady, who has approximately $80,000 in student loan. I will be done baby step 2 by September of this year. Excellent. Very proud of this. Excellent. Should I move on to baby step 3 and save 36 months of income to throw at the debt once are married, or should I start putting that extra income towards her debt once I pay mine off? No, until you're married, you do not give her $1 for her student loans. You do not do that. Should not be living together ahead of time or commingling finances before you are married. And of course, here we go. I know Dave would likely say you are not married yet, but I do want to add we have been together for a decade in July of this year. That doesn't matter. That's dumb as crap. Why haven't you gotten married already? So there's problems I have there. So that's dumb. It doesn't matter. People that have been together for a decade, sometimes it still doesn't work out. Quit being dumb. Okay? Wait till you're married. You do the baby steps for you until the second you're married, and then the second you're married, all of your assets and debts combine, and then you work on them together and you do the budget together. Mile027, I think it just became a millionaire, question mark, exclamation point. It's not, it's great. If you have debt, not. Oh, another accident, another accident payoff millionaire here. We had 2 other ones in the past week, I think. Okay, so a bit of context. About 2 years ago, I was in a big motorcycle accident with by the grace of God. Did not paralyze me. Okay. Hopefully English as a second language for this person. So today I got a call from my lawyer with inform me that we won the case and I will be rewarded with a check for $1.3 million after he took his part, which is language crazy because the most I have ever saved is 15 grand. So now I'm just wondering, what am I supposed to do with his money? I never invested. I don't know what to do with his money. I need help. Thank you. This is not a joke. If you don't believe me, I will send you pictures of my... Okay. All right. Let's just see what the rest of it is, just in case there's something. Before the accident, making 80 to 85 as a firefighter. 29 years old. Only debt I have at the moment is a $60K house loan from the bank. Okay, you would pay that off immediately. I always paid my cars in cash. Same thing. Great. Disability pay, 80% of the salary is getting. Also expected to start working again by the end of the summer. Great. Thank you for this French Canadian. Okay. You're no problem with your English there. It's much better than my French Canadian. So yeah. Cool, 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 cool. All right, but yeah, you pay off the house, and then you have no debt, and you also have your full emergency fund. Um, you're on step 7, so you can start investing whatever you want. But you did become a millionaire even before, as soon as you have the check in your account, that money in your account. You are a millionaire even after because you have $1 million net worth, even after the 60K house loan that's still outstanding. But again, you would pay that off immediately. The first thing, like the second that money gets in there, you would pay that house off. Cool, cool, cool. All right, the accident, not fun, I'm sure, but good to have a house paid off. Yeah, with which issues, yeah. French Canadian sorry. Why Jidens? All right. Sell my stock, yes. And that's always going to be the answer because Mr. Ramsey does not advise single stocks. No. Let's see. Hello, everyone. I'm looking for some advice. I hope you can help. I'm 23 and currently have around $10,000 in various stocks, mostly concentrated in the S&P 500, about 2.3K. Apple, 2.K. Okay, so if it's in the S&P 500, hey, guess what? That's not in stocks. That is a mutual fund. If that's the S&P 500 index fund, it's made up of different stocks, but that's an index fund, not stocks. Apple is one company, so that is one stock. Berkshire Hathaway is one stock, but basically their company has a bunch of others, so some people use that as a loophole to say that's diversified like a mutual fund. I don't think so. But there are, I wouldn't die on that hill. I would pick another one to die on. Every week I put $15 into the S&P 500. Again, not a single stock. It's made up of single stocks, but it's not one. Another $10 in. Okay. They're my only regularly scheduled investments, but occasionally I will buy other things. About 500 Costco. Yeah. Started investing maybe 4 years ago, up a little over 50% all time. Yeah, that's about regular market thing. Performance was the word I was looking for. My question is this: I'd like to have money put away in an IRA, as it seems sensible to do. You hadn't done that before. You should have already done that. Because we don't have savings or other stuff like that, extra investing beyond retirement investing until you're in step 7. So you're doing it wrong. I've started offloading my smaller single stops. I was told, Dave. I was told I would get my stapler back. Where's it? Dick doesn't recommend having a lot of those. No, he says have none of those. No single stocks. And putting that money back in the S&P. The S&P 500 index, again, better than nothing, but not as good as a managed mutual fund that beats it. And there are plenty out there. Don't be lazy. Is there a way to transfer my stock into IRA without selling? No, you'd have to sell it. I don't think you can roll over a brokerage account. Let me make sure. That's never come up before. I don't know if you can roll over a brokerage account into an IRA. Roll brokerage account into INTO IRA. Rollover IRA, that's from roll on IRA. That's not come. Oh, there it goes. Old 401ks and other retirement accounts. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can do that. Looks like you gotta sell those stocks and then you move the money from it. To how to move money from a brokerage account to Roth IRA. Let's see. Vanguard can help you. Yeah, they'll be more than happy happy to help you do that. And you can open your Roth IRA at the same brokerage, and that might probably easier, you would think. The only reason you wouldn't do that at that particular brokerage is if they don't let you buy pretty much any mutual fund you would want to. If they have limited investments, that's when you would not do it at the same one. But otherwise, it's fine to do it at the same one, and that's basically an in brokerage transfer from the brokerage account to the Roth IRA account. All right. If not, would be a good idea to sell and then start an IRA. Yes, and that's exactly what you should do. And if it's in the same brokerage, I don't know. You'd have to ask them if you have to. You probably still have to sell everything that's in it and have cash value be the only thing moving from the brokerage account to the Roth IRA. I don't think like you can keep the investments in it and transfer it that way, but you can verify that, of course, with your brokerage. Music in LA. All right. Los Angeles or Louisiana, the Bayou. Low mortgage rate, another reason to pay off your mortgage early. Okay, here are a lot of people saying they won't pay their mortgage down early because they locked in a low interest rate. But I had a thought yesterday. We locked in a low mortgage rate a few years ago at 2.875. That was more than a few years ago. So a few years ago is 2 or 3, not 5 or 6 or 7, when you would have been able to get that rate. Half of what it would cost today, and we're paying it off quick enough that we're only going to pay about 25% of the full term interest. So that makes it like a double good deal. Stacking equity on money borrowed at extra cheap and not paying all the interest. I didn't realize it at the time, but this is kind of life-changing in the long term, you think? We're paying a literal fraction of what most people will for a house. Half of that was luck. The other half is discipline. After it's paid off, the sky is the limit, I guess. If you're in the same situation and are paying down early, congratulations. You kind of accidentally won the lottery. Not really. What would be a total waste, and what I've seen my friends do, is not pay ahead to take advantage of that cheap lending and sell it for a house that's twice the price. Yeah, that's dumb. Also, having money in savings, extra investing too, instead of paying the house off early, that's dumb as crap as well, and not the Ramsey advice. We're going to have to sell one day, but we'll have a massive pile of cash from the sale of this house. Yes, to check at the next one. Meaning we will still have a much smaller mortgage because we paid off that original cheap mortgage. If we have to take out a mortgage at all, it's just a thought, right? And of course, locked posts, because that, of course, is going to have your financial bros losing their minds that you said that. And, basically on this subreddit, it's the Dave Ramsey subreddit. And so they would just be haters and trollers. Haters gonna hate. Trollers gonna troll. Shake it off. Hercules the pup. Question about kids. My teen, 16, and that is a teenage year for sure. Just got our first job and is earning about $700 a month. Bags for the teenager. We would like for her to start saving it, or the possibility of investing it. She's good at saving, but now that she's going to be driving, she'll also be paying for bills, gas, insurance to start learning how to budget. What kinds of options are available for minors and investing saving that Dave Ramsey recommends? We're only in baby step 2, so I'd like to give her good advice and learn from our mistakes instead of making her own wishful thinking. Right? Everybody's still going to make mistakes, regardless. I only really know about Roth education, etc. Should she start going through the baby steps at that age as well? I guess for her it would be about learning to fly. Make my way back home and learn to fly. The budget and saving emergency fund. I love it when I click on it for the rest of it and it's 5 extra words. Okay. Kids are different. Kids is just pile up cash and keep it liquid because of said needing cars. And if you're on baby step 2, guess what? You're not contributing much to that at all. So car, and college. So, and she can invest once she gets a big girl job after college. You know, this assumes going to college. But otherwise, it's still, you do not do that until after, you do not invest until after you move out and don't live with mommy and daddy anymore and you are doing your adult job. So you don't start investing early because you might need that money again for car. And I mean, she's got $700 a month. She's paying for a lot of stuff, which was the cell gas insurance. Yeah. So, and start learning how to budget. Sure. You can teach her how to do that for sure. She may already know how. And so, but it's different, and again, different for teenagers and young 20s that are still in college, and it's just to pay off cash until you get out of college debt free. And so you don't want that locked up in a retirement account while you are still going to college, because you might need it to pay for the college. A Wallace talked about Marcellus Wallace in the chat earlier from Pulp Fiction. Highly recommend that movie. Quentin Tarantino. Monthly budget when you get paid bi-weekly. Yes. What's the problem? I'm probably overthinking this. Yes, you are. But wanted to check here to see what everyone else does. My husband gets paid bi-weekly. I've created, that means once every 2 weeks. And I have as well for most of my working career, including the new job it just started. I have created a monthly budget in an effort to start saving more. Good idea. As that is advised, and being more on top of how we spend money. You should be more than on top, more on top. You should know where every cent is going. That's why you do a budget, because then you only put cents to every cent towards where you said it was going to go to, and you don't do things that aren't in the budget. But I'm not sure the best way to keep track when he gets paid bi-weekly. I really like the cashless envelope system, and think it could work for us. Our main issues we have had in the past sticking to the budget is that the bank account will show X amount, even though it will be allotted for bills, groceries, etc. Right? So we think it's fine. It's just $20 here or there. Yeah, no, yeah. That if that's not in your budget to be spent, you don't do that. What is it that you don't understand about being intentional? You, in the budget, you give every dollar a name, and that's why the app is called Every Dollar. It's showing intentionality with every single cent. And there's no $20 here or there spending. See, $20 here or there spending doesn't sound like that's 100% necessary. And when you're in baby steps 1, 2, and 3, you're not doing much at all. That's not 100% necessary to live. That stuff starts on baby step 4. Then you can start going out to eat and vacations and such like that. So, yeah. So the bank account will show X amount. So even though it's allotted for bills, groceries, yeah. So you have to know that in your mind. And if you can't figure that out, do a spreadsheet type of budget like I do, where it shows you what you have always. It shows you the way I do it. It shows me the balance of the bank account up at the top line, current balance. Okay, and then it shows everything that's coming out of it that month, or therefore for that 2 weeks before you get the next check. And so that's how you can do that. And if you get paid every week, if you're working as well, then you add that. Then you get 2 checks on 2 of the 4 weeks out of the month. So you can do a budget in which you can see that all that is happening. So the problem is when you look at it in the bank, oh, I have this much money. No, you don't. You're stupid. You already said it's allotted. So then why do you think about it as being available to spend? That's dumb. What would be the best way to track it? Like I said, however it works for you, and their spreadsheets don't work for everybody, but that does let you see what you're talking about. Although, you know, again, you already know it's allotted, so why the frick are you spending it? If it's not in your budget to be spent, like this, it sounds like it would be fun money stuff. If it's not part of the fun money budget line item, then you don't buy it. Even if it's just $20, you do not buy it. The best way to track it is to look at your budget, and if it's not in the budget, you say no, you do not do that. Should I divide what I've said as our monthly budget in 2 and just use that as our starting? You do it whatever way you have to do it. For the cashless envelopes, see, I don't know what what are you putting in the envelopes if not cash? Paycheck budgeting makes the most sense for my brain. Is there a better system to use? Does anyone else budget by paycheck instead of monthly? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. As I said, I have the bank balance as it is right this second at the top line. And then everything that has to come out for the month. And as the stuff comes out, the bank balance at the top changes, and also I delete the line item. So I pay the electric bill, I delete that line item, so the number at the top decreases by that. It's normally around $70, I think, something like that. And so then the $70 electric bill line item also disappears, and you keep going like that, because then you still know what you have up at the top and what has to come out and how much is left over after that comes out. Let's see. I think people overthink the bi-weekly to monthly thing. They do. Tracking the expenses to each category equals cashless envelopes. Okay. All right. So basically, doing a budget is what that. Doing a budget and just sticking to it without having to pay cash for everything. And that's fine if you can do that. My ex-wife and I didn't have any problem sticking to the budget using debit cards. And so if you don't, that's the problem. But some people have a problem like that because they have the little card, and then they'll start doing, oh, what will they start doing? They'll start doing $20 here or there. Bull crap. And if you can't stop yourself from doing that, you're not being an adult. And if you can't be an adult, then you need professional mental help. Yeah. So, but you do it however you need to do it. People do it all kinds of dumb ways, in my opinion. Like they get multiple different accounts, like, 5 or 6, like way too many accounts. But if it keeps you on your budget, knock yourself out. And doesn't cost you any more money to have that many accounts, knock yourself out. Oh, that's our time. Yummy yogurt, for tomorrow. Am I doing one? I'm doing I'm working in the morning, so I'm doing closing the night, 11:50, alpha 11:15. Got to be back there at 8 in the morning. That's how we roll here. At least this week. Work in progress. Probably about the baby steps, and so we'll see what that is all about tomorrow. For all the people that think government jobs are great, it just got a $10,000 debt letter for salary overpayment due to administration error. That happens, I'm sure, in other companies as well, other than the government. But you don't have to convince me that all government jobs are great, are not great. I believe you. Combining finances, long distance. Well, if you are married, yeah, it still does need to be that way. And you use the same password on every dollar so both of you can see the budget. Does anyone know how many millionaires Dave Ramsey has studied? I don't remember the number. It's been a lot. I also do know that however many it is, they also update it on every millionaire theme hour. They add that information, the stuff that Dave asks them, they add that information to the study. Alrighty, and we'll do more questions on top of that. Once more, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you, yes, you, having money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me by emailing me, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. My schedule changes too much to use a website. I used to use that, but you got to post your availability on there, and it changes too much to do that. You can email me also about any financial stuff, coaching stuff, or anything on my YouTube channel, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, the Cash App, $CoachSteveMoney. Alternatively, yet still, that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, I believe we will have a Ramsey show, Aftershow show on Wednesday and Friday, 11:07 a.m. It might be 11:05 a.m. I think it was like that today. Seemed to be over 2 minutes early, but we'll see. Something like that. Yeah, Wednesday, June 18th, Friday, June 20th. And answering your financial questions streams 8 p.m. Eastern, and that would be on the other days because I'm working mornings, Tuesday and Thursday, June 17th and 19th. Because I'm working in the morning, so no after show, but I will be doing the answering your financial questions stream. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every single day.